Hi.
Hi.
Wow, it's so bright by you guys. Isn't
Sorry,
it like
it looks better on our camera before we joined. Now it is really bright. Hold on. I move back a little bit. There we
There
go.
you go.
Now you
I
can
mean,
see
you were
my
just
face.
like directly in the sunlight.
Yeah. We're trying to set up our lighting rig here so that we could both get in and like frame up the shot, and I was putting a lot of effort into it, and now it's not working like I thought.
Well, thank you for joining me. I hope my lighting's okay. I have one light off to the side, a professional light, and hopefully I don't look too bright. Am I okay?
You look great. Yeah.
For sure.
You guys can see my face? Perfect.
Yep.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for doing this. Yes. I did a show live from my apartment for many years in LA, but I was never able to work out a time with you when you were in town, so I'm glad we can do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like you're in. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
Oh, sorry. It might be a little delay, so I'll make sure I leave space. But yeah, it's with this type of time going on, I feel like it's like a lot of people are actually connecting in a weird way that normally wouldn't through digital means, which is kind of cool.
This is true, and I've been FaceTiming my friends. I have friends that live in Taiwan and all over the place, Amsterdam, and now's like the perfect time to call people, not just send them like a joke text or a meme.
For sure. Like even my friends and some of our friends in UK, or my group of girlfriends, like we've all scheduled like weekly calls, like FaceTime and like Zoom calls, which normally we don't do in like normal time. So it's actually kind of like an interesting new communication that we're kind of all starting.
I think it's a cool communication. I think more and more people are. I think it's one of those things. Even once isolation's over, I could see a lot of people continuing some of the, regular, like she does one like every week kind of thing, whatever it is. Like
do a quiz every week on Saturdays.
I can see a lot of people continuing it. It's a lot of fun. It's actually the real reason what the internet was created for, was to be social properly, I guess.
Yeah.
You're saying you go on Zoom and you have like a theme. It's not just everybody sitting there and talking about their day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have like a weekly quiz. It actually inspired us to do our own quiz, but with a bunch of our friends. Okay, Saturday.
And we suck at it.
It's not about your band. It's just about all music.
Yeah, so in general, but because it's like they're all UK friends of ours over there that do the quiz. A lot of the questions are coming out from that area.
Yeah,
from like UK region
that
questions.
Maybe were big there, but like weren't
didn't
big
hit
in
Canada or America, and we're just like, man, we don't know some of the answers. So even though we're like musicians that somewhat know what's going on, we always feel the dumbest out of all the people on the quiz. But it's a fun time.
But we did do a quiz last weekend that was themed around our band, which was quite fun and a learning process on how to like host a bunch of people. I felt like I was like a teacher in the classroom, like trying to do a lesson, and everybody just wanted to draw like penises on the Zoom.
Yeah, once we figured out that people could draw on the screen for Zoom.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you can do a lot of stuff because of it being involved for conferences and stuff. You can do a lot of stuff to interact with each other on it. So I made the joke of like first person that draws a penis,
and then it just started.
Like, boom.
And I'm like, how do I turn this on? It's just like people drawing penises all over the Zoom.
Somebody had their lizard drawing stuff on it. There was a bunch of stuff. So
it was fun though. But if people want to check that out, we did it. We redid it on YouTube.
It was Francesca,
yeah.
But now they're just gonna draw penises every time you do it. You're in.
I thought it was funny. I asked them to draw me a dinosaur smoking a cigarette, and a bunch of people did that too. I thought to myself, the next one we should just do like a Pictionary kind of.
Yeah, you can do a guessing game.
Kind of guessing.
Yeah, dictionary, all penises.
Yeah.
I want to know. I'm really into music trivia. I feel like I know a good amount. Do you have like a question that you remember that you guys didn't know the answer to? Maybe it was like because it was American rock and roll or something like that.
Oh,
I want to know if you feel like I'm like jealous. I want to play right now, honestly.
Yeah. There's tons of questions.
We did this one last week. This was a cool one where basically the host would name all the first names of band members of like famous bands, and you had to guess what the band was. So there's a lot. What we learned is there's a lot of Johns in a lot of famous rock bands, and almost every band in the quiz had a John in it.
John, John Lennon, obviously.
Tons of Johns.
Now I can't even think of any other John.
Well, some of them aren't as famous.
No, you could if you started thinking about it. Like from the Beatles to the Who, to you name it. There's like lots of them. So they're like it was all main classic bands.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was
Yeah, like for instance, some of them would give them away. You know, like you'd have like a Slash, and you'd automatically know. But some of them were a lot harder because they'd be like regular, just like names like John, Jim, Steve,
and Matt
or whatever. And then you have to think of the band that you're like, who has those names? And it was actually a hard one, but we got like 8 or something out of 10. And then we did like a black metal logo quiz where we showed like logos and had to like
black metal logos.
Guess
to take a bunch of sticks and put them together.
And some of them. Was it Sophie that brought that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, she brought up some of the best. We were just like, what is this? Like, one of them was just this insane word. Yeah, they were really fun, actually. So, yeah.
So between the two of you, who was like
we were on the same team.
Who was the winner?
We're on the same team. We're competing against.
Yeah, usually there's about like 8 to 10 teams on there. Yeah. So we always team up together, and then we have to click the mute button and whisper to each other.
But like when we did it ourselves with our, some of our fans, there was maybe, 50 plus people or something that came in, and it's like, not as easy to have the mute button working as well with that many people trying to talk.
You need to have like one person that like is focusing on like unmuting the person that wants to talk, muting, making sure people get added to the chat because you have to manually.
It was really funny though. It was like a really funny disaster. It was a good disaster.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of fun. We were like drinking and just having like a good old time. It was good.
That sounds awesome. When you were playing the trivia about your own band, did the fans stump you? Like, were they quizzing you on your own band? And you got something wrong?
This was
you quizzed them.
This was a full-on, come on, if you want, you had to be a diehard fan, right? Obviously.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into it. I did like, questions, and then I would have like the answer would be a video clip of like a song, and I had it was like a slideshow presentation. So I did like a big whole thing about it.
It was really cool. It was like her coming like for the past couple of months. We haven't, as much as we've been isolating and working here in our studio, we haven't been as present online to some of our diehards that we usually communicate with and have videos and more stuff out online. But we've been on tour a lot. It kind of took a couple months to like just happened to like land at the same time isolation did, that we were planning on kind of isolating and zoning out. And so this was us trying to, Sky coming up with some cool ideas to make it fun for us to interact with some of our friends and family and fans without, without us necessarily trying to do some kind of concert or something right now. We didn't feel like necessarily like.
Yeah, and that's fun, and that's fun too. But that's a lot of people are doing concerts. What you're doing is something a little bit different. And honestly, some of the shows I've seen, and some of these bands are my favorite. And of course, I won't name names. Not the same thing when they play acoustically at all.
Yeah,
it's just the same vibe.
Like we like playing acoustic. We can do it. So we do it all the time. It's just, I guess it was more just, I bugged Sky a bunch of times. I was like, hey, we should go online. And she was more feeling like, I don't know if I feel really fun trying to perform right now with some of the stuff that's going on. And I was like, okay, cool. So let's just try to be as personal as possible and talk with people.
Yeah, I don't know. There's always a side of me that's, I guess it's just like ingrained in me, like the rebel side, that as soon as a lot of people start doing something, then I'm like, I don't want to do it. Everyone's doing it or something. Like I have this side that's like, I gotta think of
like the worst thing
a creative way to do something different. I was like, okay, a lot of people aren't doing like trivia nights. I'm like, we can do trivia night. I'll be a little outside the box.
It's gonna start catching on though. Everyone's gonna be doing trivia night.
They're a lot of fun.
I don't know if you have enough songs yet, but my friends and I, we were doing games where you'll take like a band like Green Day and you put like 70 of their songs on the chart, and then you have to pick your favorite, and then you keep going inward and inward until you have like your favorite song out of the 70.
Yeah, our fans did that one. It's like the battle of the songs or whatever, and then everyone was voting on which one made like the next round.
Yeah. What song was the favorite overall?
I was telling Matt, I thought it was our song Undefeated because I think there was a game that was played the same kind of way a couple of years ago, but the new champion is called Sleep Tight.
It's been that the whole time, I think.
Yeah.
Is that a surprise? Like, do you not expect that to be out of all the songs the favorite?
it wasn't like it wasn't one of our like first couple singles that we released off the record, but we did do a video to it, and live it goes off really well. So,
I knew when we wrote that was going to be the best song on the record. I knew it right away. I knew it.
You knew?
100% gut instinct. I always said it, actually. She just doesn't want to admit it.
Is this true? Did he always say it?
I did. You just don't remember. You don't even want to admit it. I killed it. As soon as I wrote that riff and with that opening riff, and then I was like, oh, we're going to do this, and then we're going to bang with this, and then the chorus is going to be dance hall, blah, blah. It was like, I know. I was like, people are going to love this track.
I like that game because there's no way to win or lose, so everybody has a good time. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't pick, like, the same answer, it doesn't mean you lost the game. It's just your opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you were mentioning the trivia game. Like, 10 years ago, I was on a game show called Lingo, which is out here on the Game Show Network. Okay. And when my buddy and I practiced at home, I was, like, insanely good. We did, like, the practice online. I knew every answer, like 3 letters in, kind of like a Wheel of Fortune type game. As soon as we got on the actual show, I was horrible. Like, I didn't get anything right, and it's still on YouTube, so it's really fun to watch because I was just terrible. And it just, maybe it was because I was just so nervous about being on camera, but there's just something about it when you're playing a game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sky's super competitive. I am too once you get going, but I'm harder to get into the game world where I don't really necessarily want to get involved half the time. She's always trying to get me into like, oh, let's do this, some kind of game or something like this, and I'm always like, it's just time consuming. It's gonna be a competitive thing where you start to razz each other. She's a razzer for sure. As soon as she starts to do well, she's
our favorite thing to play, like when we're taking a break on the road with our band, is the 4 of us will go to like a mini putt and we'll have like a serious
she'll get pissy if she's not winning. Like she'll get angry.
I've never heard anyone call it mini putt. It's probably just because we're down here. I heard putt putt and miniature golf, but I've never heard mini putt. I like that.
Oh yeah?
I've never heard mini putt before.
Aww.
You taught me something new today. I like that.
We've been to some pretty good ones too, and some really wacky, like crappy ones where it's just like when we were touring, sometimes we use campsites like what are they, KOAs?
Yeah.
And they have like some pretty like crappy mini
But
quests.
it's still competitive.
It's still competitive. That's even
it's
more
like
competitive.
Where we'll be like, they'll like leave a bunch of like leaves and rocks on the course because like no one's been there for like months, and we're like, it's part of the challenge. You can't move anything, and we just turn it into a fun game. So
yeah.
But you're serious about it. You have like the little pencil and the little piece of paper and you have to keep score.
Yeah, and she has to keep score.
And if someone doesn't and I don't, I have to double check the answers.
Yeah. And if she doesn't win, she double and triple count. If it's like between 1 or 2.
It reminds me of the time that I got fitted for a bridesmaid dress and I made the girl like remeasure like 3 times because I thought she was wrong.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, no, she thought it was bigger. I was like, no, that's not my size. Measure again. Maybe I'll take my phone out of my pocket this time. My ass is not that big. What was that?
So what games are you not good at, so we know which ones that we want to play against you, so we'll win?
Oh,
like what does he beat you at?
Great as a like physical game. Like if you had a game of basketball with Sky, I don't know how well it goes.
Yeah, I was always on the artsy side.
Put her brain
into
the test, and she'll match you. She's good on that one. Or give her a puzzle. Oh, watch out if you give her a puzzle.
What about some bowling? How about that? I like bowling.
Oh yeah, she can bowl. You can bowl, can't you? No.
It's okay. We went bowling with the Ginger Crew, remember? And I kind of just sucked at that.
But it was a fun thing to do. It's like having a couple bands together and bowling together is fun.
I want to know what the Ginger Crew is. Now I'm interested.
Yeah, the band Ginger. I don't know if you're familiar with them from the Ukraine. Kind of another female-fronted, powerful. They do
prog
metal kind of style. They're on Napalm Records as well, and did a tour with them 2 tours ago. And had a bowling night with some of their crew and some of the band members, and it was fun. We
had 2 months of a really good tour with that band. They were like good people.
Yeah.
Not what I pictured. I thought you had like 5 friends that all had red hair.
No.
Call them the Ginger Crew.
You said the Ginger Crew. I thought, oh, he's gonna picture like a bunch of redheads, beards, and red hair.
What do you call your crew?
Like, oh, look at the Ginger Crew. I'm like, I guess we should explain.
Yeah. What do you call your crew when you go out? Like just out on the town?
Do we have a crew?
I don't know. They'll just like if you're with another band, they'll
We're
just
with
talk
Sumo
to like
Cyco,
the
man.
Sumo crew, right?
Most of the time, we're always out at Sumo. Like the only time we ever go out really is when we're playing. Like it's rare that we go out as a crew to party. Because most of the time,
the band.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we're playing, so we go and party. The last thing I do is when I come home from tour is go like, oh, I can't wait to hit this town and go partying. No. I still like to go to a pub. I sneak into a pub maybe with Sky, we'll have some dinner or meet up with some friends, maybe have a drink here or there. But I don't really, there's no really crewing because we just do so much of it on tour.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, need a break from that.
Yeah.
Where do you guys live? Are you in like a tiny town or in a city?
So we are in the middle of nowhere, pretty much.
That's good. I'm glad you have Wi-Fi.
Yeah. We live in a converted church actually in kind of like
What?
Yeah, between Niagara region, like Niagara Falls, and Hamilton, Ontario.
All right.
Here in Canada. And it's actually like a really great place to be isolated. We're like 7-minute drive from like a little kind of town where we can get groceries and all the necessities. But we have like a yard and we have like a park next door. So it's very like relaxing and we can play music here at all hours. There's no like neighbors that are gonna throw a fit. Our neighbors are really cool.
We kind of record all our stuff.
So we can like Matt has his drum kit. He can bang away like at 3 a.m. No one cares.
Except
do people ever show up on Sunday like waiting for a sermon?
It's only happened a couple times, but not like waiting for a sermon. More just like somebody was married here once, came by.
Oh my god, I was kidding. That's funny.
Just like little things like that, nostalgia things, like people just stop by usually for that reason. Some kind of
I find like
family history.
When anybody in the neighborhood's looking for directions, they'll always ask us because we're like at the end of like a crossroads, and it's like it's kind of like a friendly thing.
And sometimes they think we're at church, so if they think publicly they can just ask. And I'm always kind of along like, dude, I don't know where, I just live here.
There was one time because we have a community center just kind of across the way, and they have like stag and does and like family reunions there like in the summer usually on the weekends, and there's been a couple times where the address got mixed up and people started like knocking on our door all night thinking that we were where the stag and doe is happening, and we had to like put a sign up on our door just being like, it's around the back across the parking lot, if you're looking for the stag and doe, it's not here.
Amazing.
And one time we had a Pokemon because we're in a church.
Oh yeah.
It's still some kind of public like.
Oh, who was
satellites.
in there? Who was in there?
They made our place a gym.
Our place a damn.
Oh
gym.
wow.
A couple times people were like, "Yo, there's a Pokemon in your place," and I was like, "Well, you're not getting in to find it." So. Anyway.
That's funny. Like
but we've had bands record here. We've had bands record here that are like, "Oh man, I got the Pokemon in your place." I was like, "That's good." Whatever. I
was gonna say, kids show up and you think like, "Oh, you guys are a fan of our band. Like, how'd you find us?" "Oh, what band? We just want to find Pokemon."
Yeah, they just want
That's funny. I don't know if this goes hand in hand, but is the old church haunted? I like hearing ghost stories too.
Man,
there's one instance when we first moved in where I swear it was like the craziest thing. It was like totally Satan in the bathtub, like complete horns, goatee, like full like nose, like you just see it. It was like Satan's face, and then I was like, whoa, that was like shadow cast by like my loofah was the beard. And like I just had all these things like lined up with candles that it just like projected this like Satan on the bathtub.
Satan
wall.
in the bathtub or devil in the bathtub?
Yeah, you should write a song.
Did you take a photo of this or video?
There's a photo somewhere. It's like
Satan
very beginning of my camera roll on like my phone before the one I had.
You have to write a song, Satan in the bathtub.
Yeah.
What about on tour? Have you stayed at like a haunted hotel or a haunted motel?
The coolest one was in Birmingham.
Yeah,
that was like one of the oldest hotels in Birmingham that the Queen stayed at, and it was like 13 something that this place was built, and it was so cool because we stayed in the suite because it's just really small. There's probably only like
all the rooms
10 rooms maybe, but we stayed in the suite because there's the only place that it was cheaper than getting 2 rooms that the 4 of us could stay in 1 room. And yeah, it was like literally the walls, you could see through the like cracks in the walls, the outside, and the floor was all crooked. And I love staying there because we had like literally a skeleton key to like open the door. And it was really perfect because the place we were playing was literally like two places down on the road. So we finished playing our gig, and we could go back.
Walk back to the venue.
The Crown, the Old Crown, it was called, and it's very famous for its pub at the bottom, which is like a really old pub, and it was just like such an experience staying there. I loved it.
But did you see anything? Did you feel anything?
Nothing about the haunted. He asked if it was about haunted. You did nothing about
But I
haunted.
mean, if there's any place that was haunted, that would have been it. But I didn't like hear
there was all this
any
creepy
ghosts or
stuff you
anything.
could have told him about. Like, crooked rooms.
Well, tell him.
You just like, it's so lovely.
I didn't see any ghosts, but
let the man speak.
There's not much haunted. We haven't really run into too many haunted. The most closest we've ever come to haunted was everybody thinks that an alien is watching us from Stonehenge in a picture.
We
were standing out of Stonehenge, and there's a picture in the back, or a flying saucer in the background, randomly, and we don't think it is, but everybody thinks that's the closest to paranormal.
What is it?
We don't know. Nobody knows.
A lot of fans were like circling it and like trying to zoom up on it, like, and then it got posted to like a UFO message board, and a lot of people were talking about it,
blowing it up, and
it
does look more like a saucer, but apparently there's an airfield there, like a military base near there.
Right.
So some people think it could be some kind of testing something, but it does look like a UFO. It's an interesting shot because we didn't even notice it. We're just like,
we're just like,
happy
oh, we're
that we
at
got this picture at Stonehenge. And then people started like going, what's with that thing in the corner? And then we were like, yeah, there is this thing. And the more I looked into it, the more I was like, oh, there's this flying saucer in the background. It's kind of weird.
Next time you're in San Diego, in Old Town, they have a place called the Whaley House, and it's known as the most haunted place in America. And you can get a tour. We went there, and the most haunted room is the old courthouse. And we took a bunch of pictures with a regular camera, and they all came out so weird. The lighting is off. It just does not look like what the picture is supposed to look like. It's awesome.
There's one place we played. We were on a tour with a band, and it's somewhere in the States. It was a mansion. The house was a mansion.
Oh yeah, where the guy was the inventor of which gun was it? The Tommy gun.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And there was some kind of haunting there, and it was a creepy venue. I mean, I don't have.
Yeah, it was. Oh, where was that? It's like a massive mansion that they turned into a concert venue, and it was like this guy who invented the Tommy gun, or I think that gun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it has this massive like pool in the bottom, and it has like, if you can, sometimes they'll let you, sometimes they won't, depend on if it's a day that the owners can like let you into certain areas. But we got to climb up to like where there's kind of like this tower, this really tip top tower that they said that like this little girl had been stuck there or something, or some haunted story about that. But that was a pretty cool place.
But in general, I'm not haunted kind of human being.
I like this. Misty Lake said, I love these haunting stories. And Norrell said 45 minutes from Boston is the B&B they made from Lizzie Borden's house. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Cool.
Well, if anybody has any places to suggest next time we're on tour to stop by and check out.
And then in San Jose, I forgot the name of it. You can get a tour of it. Winchester. You ever go there? Winchester Mystery House?
I don't know.
It doesn't.
I would say no. I would know that.
Yeah, I've yet to go there. I think it's whoever created the Winchester rifle. His daughter went crazy because she was feeling guilty of all the people that had been killed by her dad's rifles. So she just kept building and building and building this house. So it's like all these doors that go nowhere and staircases that go nowhere.
That's
and so
cool.
They give a tour. They give tours of that all year.
Have you ever checked out in Wisconsin this place called House on the Rock?
No, I've never been to Wisconsin, but tell me about the Rock.
Okay, so like Wisconsin, there's actually a lot to not just this place. It's just Sky and I just every time we seem to be touring through this Wisconsin area, we just find there's more and more interesting things about Wisconsin. But this place, House on the Rock, is got to be one of the most interesting places we've ever experienced in America so far on all the tours, and it was. A random stop for about 4 hours. We had about 4 hours to go through it, and you need more like a full day. But it's basically like a gentleman in the early 1400s maybe started to build a house on a huge.
No, not that early.
Well, whatever.
It was like in our century.
Oh well, whatever. I thought it was way. But either way,
I love it. You guys are amazing. I love your dynamic.
I thought it it was way back at the beginning.
Because it was all, remember, it was like that kind of like 70s pad.
Inside, but the outside, the very beginning of it, at the very beginning.
Anyway, we can argue about this, but the main
Hey,
thing
I'm enjoying this argument.
was that it was centered around this house that was built on the precipice of this rock, but then the owner like was a collector and literally started collecting like warehouses of memorabilia that like go on for like
from artists,
ever.
Different artists.
And there's like the world's largest indoor carousel and a huge sculpture of a whale and a squid fighting and like rooms full of air balloons, rooms full of planes. It's just, it never stops. There's just so much stuff and it's all super interesting. And it feels like if Disney World wasn't so like commercial, it was kind of like the creepy like Disney World without rides. It was just like stuff to see for forever. And they filmed a few episodes of that show. What's that show called that I was watching for a little bit? They filmed on it. Do you remember?
God.
The one.
Gods and
or something.
Oh,
American Gods.
American Gods, yeah. They filmed a couple episodes there, and yeah, it's if you want to see like videos of it, they did a really good job of like capturing some of the cool elements of it. But we took a bunch of pictures. It's one of those places that I recommend to anyone who's in Wisconsin. You have to go there. So cool.
Now I'm interested. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And people are loving this conversation. Kay Walsh says my in-laws' place is totally haunted. A ghost pushed me down the stairs. That's creepy.
Oh.
Regina said, Ross, didn't you go to a haunted house? I don't know which one you're referring to. I go to many haunted houses. Kat said the Winchester house is insane and you can get a virtual tour on the website. That's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
That's
I'm gonna do that tonight then. It's like $80 to go normally in person. I do want to go eventually.
That's cool.
Let's see. Kay Walsh said I live by a place called the Devil's Tree in New Jersey.
We live by a place called the Devil's Punch Bowl.
I've heard of that one. That Misho says there was an abandoned house near my grandparents' house when I was a kid that I could swear I saw disappearing figures and terrifying faces.
Oh, no.
Misty Lake walked through the abandoned subway here in the middle of the night, and it was the scariest thing ever. It was so dark, even a flashlight didn't help.
Where's the abandoned subway?
Buffalo.
There's an abandoned subway there.
Let's go.
Cool.
This is amazing. Maybe I should be doing a ghost interview show and not just a music show, huh? People are really good. This is fantastic. Maybe you got next tour when this is all over. You should just go tour haunted attractions, and that could be your thing, you know?
I'm sure that would make for some good.
I'm down with haunted houses, like where I'm just like, let's go get scared, and I know it's gonna happen. But I don't know about like, I'm down with haunted stuff, but I feel like sometimes people can lead themselves into it, where it gets a little too, you know, when I watch the guys, did you feel that? Did you blah blah? I'm like, come on, like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like half the time your brain just
He's
plays
not a believer in
fucking
ghosts.
tricks on you, you know. Like I think your brain can play tricks.
I wrote this one line with Tim Armstrong that goes, I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm afraid of them. Take that with whatever you think it means.
Let's see. Oh, apologies to Misty. It was Rochester, not Buffalo. How dare I confuse the two?
Gotcha.
And there's videos on YouTube of the creepy subway.
And you can just
Oh,
walk
cool.
down into it. It's just, or is it?
I'm sure
like,
there's some
locked
type
up?
of trespassing involved in some of these.
This is what I want to watch. I just want to look up these videos tonight.
I want to go shoot video there. That'd be cool.
YouTube probably has a ton of these. Like I mean, people do like their virtual rides now with Disney, but I want to look at these virtual tours of haunted houses.
Crazy. Who was telling us recently about the one that they went into?
The problem is if you start doing a virtual tour, then they can start faking ghosts.
Right.
Yeah, the ghosts know what you're doing. They're gonna hide. Anything's possible. All right, no more ghost talk. We're halfway through. Let's talk about some music. Now, if you have questions, you can send them. We have a ton of your fans watching. They've just been hanging out. Now is a free-for-all. We'll mix in some questions with our banter. That's how I've done the show for like 18 years. I just like to have a real talk, you know, and then people can join in. No structure, no questions.
We're down with no structure, that's for sure. In fact,
just kicking it. Soon. I love it. I just think it's more real and fun.
Are you drinking anything interesting in that cup, or what's you drinking?
The Yeti cup?
Yeah.
No, just Diet Coke today.
Diet Coke, gotcha.
I try to save the fun stuff for the weekends. We try to make some You need to make some sort of structure so you have something to look forward to now. So like last weekend was like New Orleans night, so we made po' boys and had like hurricane drinks, and then like the week before was like Margaritaville night, where we have the Margaritaville machine, made margaritas. You gotta get something to look forward to now on the weekend. You can't just. I have one friend who hasn't left the house in 3 months, which I think is a little crazy, and he has no themes. He just goes day by day doing nothing, and that makes you crazy.
Order in for groceries.
He orders in the groceries and makes his wife wipe everything down with gloves, and he won't eat anything for 72 hours.
Oh my gosh.
But he also said he doesn't care about food, and I do, so I couldn't do that.
Crazy.
That is pretty wild.
I try not to go too much. I went to 7-Eleven last week and got a bunch of Dunkaroos, and I didn't know that was like a big deal that Dunkaroos were back on the market. And people were like flipping out. Where'd you find these Dunkaroos? 7-Eleven. It's not a big deal. And
I didn't know Dunkaroos had been taken off the market.
I looked on eBay. People are buying them for like $100 for like a 12-pack.
No way.
Dunkaroos. They're not even good. It was so gross the other day.
You know what? That means right now, if you're getting Dunkaroos for cheap, you buy up a ton of them because it'll probably go back out. And then when they come back, you can sell them for a ton.
Like you miss things when they're gone, and sometimes they're not the same. When the Ghostbusters came out with the recent one with the female cast, they had the Ecto Cooler, and I grew up as a child drinking that High C Ecto Cooler drink. They brought it back, and it was not good. At least I thought it was horrible. Like it had like 70 grams of sugar. It was just not good. And then it ended up like in the 99-cent store. You could buy them by the case because nobody bought them.
It's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Lots of sugar. People see like in the chat, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Dunkaroos!" They love it. Elena wants to know what has been the best and worst part of your quarantine. That's a good question for everybody.
The best and worst part. I mean, I kind of have a little bit. It seems weird because I'm a very outgoing person and in like a band that goes out and like performs and talks to lots of people. But I do have a side of me that likes.
She's been loving
the
this.
idea.
She's been loving this.
Of
that's the truth.
Like taking time and not this like the rush of the world is kind of like really slowed down, at least in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
And there's something about not feeling as much pressure right now when everybody's kind of in the same boat and is told to stay in. That isn't like you have to go out, you have to be at this person's event, that person's event, and accomplish all this. And I kind of in a way actually kind of have what my mom calls, she has this is like the hermit gene of like liking being in your space and just like nesting in your space and enjoying your space.
Nesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like the best thing for me.
I mean, I don't mind it. Like we get a lot of work done. Like we can work on tracks and we're, there is like being home and properly, like we have a dog that we don't see a lot. Like last year we did about 6.5 months or something on the road. So we saw our dog very little and she's getting older. So this year it feels for like, right now it feels cool to be able to hang out with our dog properly. And,
that's sad, yeah.
And so that's cool, but I do miss going to a pub, like literally just a pub where I can go get a cold pint, it comes from a keg, and order like a meal and sit there and you can just have a chat with the same person just instead of just in this environment.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, like we'll go for driving work. We'll go like do some driving here and there and just but there's like nowhere to let them hang out and seeing things. It's not like let's go out and go try that nice patio out on the right now. That sucks.
Yeah. I think the worst thing for me
part.
is just not seeing my family and friends and just not being able to perform and like hang with the band and stuff. Like my sister has a little girl and she's just over 1 year old and she's growing every day, and I get pictures, but it's not really the same thing as like seeing her grow up and stuff. You miss those stages, which kind of sucks.
But I like this. If this had happened 10 years ago, you would have been way worse. With all this social media, at least you're getting videos all the time of her.
Well, 10 years, not as bad. We would have been kicking it on MySpace. At least that was around.
Yeah, like whatever, 10, 15 years ago. But it wouldn't
20 years ago.
And 10 years ago, it still wouldn't have been as easy just to grab your phone like that.
Boom,
do a video shot, and then text it to them and go, boom, here, check this out. Whereas literally, when it's happening, Scott will just get a video right away and go, oh, there's my niece doing this, So
that's cool. And 20 years ago, we would have been on Napster. That's it. and line downloading videos on LimeWire and
People would
Kazaa.
call each other on landlines.
Oh yeah, I remember, was it Kazaa? It would take like 3 hours to download like one song or like a video clip. How annoying. How far we've come. People that are younger, they didn't have to deal with any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Just waiting and waiting and waiting for it and not even feeling the reward. It wasn't even that great. And a lot of the times, like on those download sites like Napster, it wouldn't even be the correct song or the correct artist. They would be labeled wrong. And I'd wait all day and it wouldn't even be what I wanted it to be.
I went back
disappointing.
further. I'm older. I went back to the days where I would hear a new single out that's kick-ass either on Much Music or on the radio, and I'd have to put a tape in or a videotape in the VCR or in there, and I'd have to try to catch the song being played on MTV or on the radio. It hadn't been released yet, and you didn't get it online. There was no way to get it. That was so cool back then. That's the one thing that's amazing back then was you had to really go get the record. You had to support it. Like you had to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to hear the song. Or you had to sit and like wait for it to get played somewhere and hit for it.
I remember my babysitter did that when like Eminem came out, and that's how I learned what pregnancy was, because he said he impregnated a Spice Girl in one of the lyrics, and she was like, and I was asked my babysitter, I'm like, what did he do to the Spice Girl? Like, what is that? And she had to explain it to me.
Your babysitter explained impregnating over your parents?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Do they still have music shows up there in Canada? Like, do you still have like a TRL or a Much Music or any of that?
I don't know. We don't even have normal we haven't watched TV in 10 years.
Yeah.
But like, I think MTV still exists. It just doesn't exist for music as much. I think it's like a reality TV show.
Okay, that's like it is here. I feel like in Europe they actually have like real interview shows.
Yeah, I don't think they have much anymore. Man, it sucks though, because back in the day it used to be for a music fan. And it's weird. It just seems like the world just forgot that there's music fans. Like, I mean, people loved it.
Everybody turns to Vivo.
I guess it's just easy, like that you don't have to wait for the interview with, you know, the singer from Rage Against the Machine or whoever, when he can just grab his own phone and talk into it and send it out, and people just, it's just
And I grew up in New York, and when we got Much Music in New York, it was super exciting. And then it became Fuse, and Fuse was really cool in the beginning also, so that was a fun change.
Oh, cool.
And then it just all went to...
With all of the shows that we grew up with, if you got the reception up there in New York.
Yeah, well, Green Day is my favorite band, and all the cool performances were on Much Music and Music Plus. Way cooler than the stuff they do down here.
Much Music like hosted some serious good stuff for Green Day like that.
Yeah. Let's see what else. This person's verified. I don't know who this is. They as the Yasmin Benoit. Hey guys.
Yeah, hey Yasmin.
Hi, Yasmin.
Verified. Is there more pressure with the third album now that you're with a record label? That's a deep question. Deep dive.
Deep cut.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just pressure in general coming out of the third album after, you know, we've worked so hard to get where.
Wait, you froze. Hold on. There you go. You're good. You're back.
Sorry. Could you hear me there? Did I get cut off?
You got cut off for a second. I just want to make sure they still hear you. Sometimes when you get cut off, they lose the sound, but I don't. But hopefully it's okay. Well,
so basically I was saying that, you know, having done 2 records and been able to tour with them and accomplish what we have, you kind of just want the momentum to keep going and growing. And I think that's what puts the pressure on us.
It's our own pressure. Like, there is pressure, but it's us. There's nobody putting pressure on us. Not the label and not our manager. Both of them have been like, the label's just like, hey, when are we doing this record? They're waiting on us. Our manager's like, hey, what's the best material? It's really us being picky and putting their own pressure, going, we want to make sure that it's as tight and as badass as we can make, and that shows what we really want to do with the third record. So there's only, the pressure's just all us. And it's on. Mm-hmm. It's on, but it's a good pressure.
But there is something to be said about the fact that once you kind of accumulate a little family of fans, I do think about what they would like, because when you're first writing your first like couple of records, you don't have any fans, so you're just like, I'm just gonna write what I want and like self-indulge. And now that we've been on the road, we've seen reactions to certain songs, we've seen what songs resonate with people.
I asked Guy, can we do a polka record? And she was like, the fans don't want a polka record. And I was like, fuck. No Cyco records.
So you're excited. The pressure's on, but you're excited to prove to everybody that the third will be the best.
Yeah, we're doing something a bit different on this one that I think is giving us a little bit more of that like indecisiveness is as we're writing more material than we need for the record, which we haven't really done in the past. It's usually been like a couple
and we're never
extra
going to
songs.
do again because it just is an insane way to do this. Like, I don't get why people do it. Like, I get the like, oh, you know, do this and get the best. And we were told, let's try this. But I realized while we're doing it that the half of it just causes more insanity in your brain.
Because you're like competing with yourself
Yeah.
with a song that you love and another song.
And I'm
you're
like, I love
which
this
one's
song.
better?
And then I write another one. Of course I'm going to like this new one. I just wrote it. If I finish it, we love it.
Yeah.
So that I feel like now we do have, like, our fans were laughing. They're like, double record. And I'm like, I feel like technically we have a double record of material that's not completely finished, but we could finish. And I think it's all good. Like, there's nothing like, I don't finish it unless I think it's fucking good. If it's not that good, it doesn't even get close to finished. I'm like, whatever. Same with Sky. She doesn't even bother laying down vocals if she doesn't think this thing should even start to be released. So we're getting a lot of stuff together. It'll be interesting to see what we're going to do with all the leftover material.
Yeah. And it's also, too, it's like competing with each other over which songs, like, I prefer this song and he prefers this song. And so now you have to, like, duke it out on which song's going to make the cut. And, like, so I find that a bit challenging.
That was a good question. Thank you, Yasmin. That was a good one. First Blood, what was the... First Blood 1982, Rambo fan. What was the most difficult music video to shoot?
Loose Cannon.
Loose Cannon? That was pretty difficult, yeah. I don't know.
You guys have a lot. You have a lot of videos.
I think Fighter was the most difficult video. Loose Cannon was hard because we had to get into a pit of death. Like, we found this pit out in a quarry area that had dead animal carcasses.
We didn't realize that until we got in the pit, and then we realized there was dead animal carcasses. And, like, we
shimmied all our gear down. We wanted it to look cool. Either way, it was kind of gross.
It just happened to be the hottest day in August,
that was like a day or two event, so it was hard, but shitty. But, like, Fighter was a 6 month to a year of on and off work. It was grueling.
That one we built a miniature city out of cardboard in our living room.
And then took the living room that we lived in, like all our furniture, and stuffed it into the kitchen and lived like we had a little 1-bedroom condo. So the whole furniture was used in the studio to film Fighter because we used every space we could.
Yeah, and it was just night after night of painstakingly cutting windows and, you know, making this little miniature world. And then, you know, you use it for a video that lasts like 3 minutes and you destroy it in seconds in the video. And it's just, yeah, it was a lot of work. That one.
Kat wants to know any collaborations.
Trying to do it.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Oh, Kat wants to know any collaborations on the new album. Probably too soon to tell, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. We did one on our last record with like my hero, Benji Webb from a band called Skin Dread. So it's kind of hard to live up to that when you like do a collab with like my all-time favorite vocalist.
We've talked about it. There's about 2 or 3 different people we've like mixed up and gone, you know what, we should call them. We know that this person, or this person would probably be interested in this. But we haven't actually written a song with that in mind right now. So like with the song the collaboration that happened last record, we were writing with that in mind. Like when we were putting that song together, we were kind of like, if we could get this guy in on this. You wrote
to lure him in. You already had the song written. Like, come on, come do it.
Yeah, we sent it to him, and we're like, dude, check this out. So we haven't really jumped on it, but I know there's a couple people we talked about, like, that would be cool if we did add them, like just a matter of
totally. We've met like a lot of awesome musicians on our tours and people that we've toured with that it's kind of always gone through our minds that we should reach out to some of them. But
I also feel like it's like also like because we met so many cool singers and awesome people, and they have all taken us under their wings because we've just always hit it off with them. It's really, I still feel like it's hard for me to be like, hey, can you come and feature on one of our tracks? Because they're all bigger than us.
Right. So you're saying it kind of isn't cool to ask them.
I just feel terrible. We're cool with them. We text them. We message them. I don't want
putting
them on a spot where I turn it into a business thing where I'm losing our friendship.
Well, they want to try something. Maybe they want to try something new and different. That's no harm.
It's true. It's
hard if they turn you down and then you're like, are we still friends though?
So who's turned you down? Who's turned you down before for collabs?
No, nobody. But I would imagine that's what's going through my head if I did get rejected.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen then.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a collab in the future. It's just a matter of when we put it together. Well, there was talk of the last time, actually, with somebody that's actually the only one that I've ever felt was maybe not as at our level that actually wanted to feature was an artist that we took out with us in UK recently, an artist called Suburban that's from Australia, and I thought he had some really cool, slick stuff going on. He has like, you know, hardcore meets rap meets emo meets hip hop, kind of all this cool collaboration that's going on, and I kind of liked it. I thought maybe it'd be interesting to put him on a track with us, but I have not again got myself wrapped around trying to build it.
Chris Ann says favorite fan experience. Well, that's hard. Then you'll single out the rest of the fan experiences. I don't think that can be answered, huh?
Well, we do have some great things that have happened to us with fans. Like we are really close to some of our fans. In fact, I mentioned this one a lot about our fan Lars that flew in from Germany to be in one of our music videos as part of a crowdfunding perk that we had.
Nice.
And so he was part of our music video, and we became good friends because he kind of stayed with us for a little bit. And then
it's so cool for him.
Yeah, and then he's actually a school teacher in Germany, so he was teaching his class like English with our music. And then what was so cool is next time we passed through the area in Germany,
it's the best fan experience.
He invited us to play for his entire school, and we had like a mosh pit and a rock show.
He talked his headmaster,
high school.
He talked his headmaster into having us there because they teach English. So he was like, I got this English band that's coming all the way through. Why don't we have them there? And they hosted us. And it wasn't just like us playing for like, you know, a couple kids. It was the whole school. And like at 9:30 in the morning, that wouldn't leave. Once we started playing, they just wanted to stay all day and party with us. It's just a weird and amazing experience because it's just not something that typically happens at all. Playing.
And how cool the teachers were to like let the kids like literally start a mosh pit and just let them have fun and weren't trying to like
teachers were
have rules. Like Lars crowd surfed. Like it was just like so cool.
This kid, like this 10-year-old, because these were like from high school kids, like with junior high, was it? Or
about like 10 years old.
To young kids. And this one kid like went out and ordered all these pizzas and was like, when we finished our set, had all this pizzas for me. He's like, you sit with me. And I like sat in the cool kids club with all these young kids and ate all this pizza. And it was like, this is so interesting. It was, you know,
he definitely got cool
like
points
a night before we played at like a venue in somewhere else in Europe, you know, to a couple hundred people in a club that's sweaty, getting boozed up, and people are falling all over the place. And the next day I've got like a 10-year-old buying me pizza and moshing in school at 9:30. Pretty fucking cool.
Making me want pizza right now. I'm thinking about pizza. Oh man, getting sidetracked. We do love pizza. We do love Pizza Hut, and there's one like 2 blocks away. Too tempting.
Now you're starting to get 200 pizza.
Let's see. Well, also, I just want to say, if people are watching this and they've never watched like an Instagram live, this will be on my page after, and the chat won't be there. So like right now, like might be like, oh, their faces are a little bit cut off by the words, but you can rewatch it after, and there won't be like the chat on there. Just wanted to throw that out there because I mean I don't know if people knew that or not.
Here.
Well, yeah, Sky's always been in the shop, but you've always kind of been like a little bit off. There you go.
I got better posture.
There you go.
She has better posture.
Let's see. We got like
not good organized details. I think her phone's about to die. To be honest.
I'm gonna get my cord to plug it in. 1 second.
Oh, now it's your show. Hey, man.
This is the Matt Show.
Spill the beans.
Not much to spill, man. That's for sure. I just hear all the time and deal with
whatever. Show us your arm.
Every morning she just shows me this.
Oh, they show us some tats while waiting for it to miss.
This is my hair in my armpit right here.
What's the tats? Give us a tatorial.
I have some tattoos. I've been on the road a couple times, and when I'm out there, I usually get tattoo artists, if I can, randomly, if I have the time, to do an ink on me, because it's better than buying like the t-shirt, you know, from the city or something. It's like way. So I have like stuff from New Zealand and stuff from Japan and tons in the States, and, you know, just Ireland, England. So you know,
you have your front and back, or just arms mostly?
Arms, legs. I haven't started my back or front yet. I think I'm going to do the first piece will be something right here.
Oh, wow.
Big chest piece. I'm not sure what yet, but I'm starting to. What was really interesting is I just bought my own tattoo stats. Like,
oh no,
just for fun. What if you flip it? Will the screen flip it?
No.
Just for fun, I decided because of being in isolation, I was like, man, we're here a long time, and as much as I like to usually do get tattoos done. I love drawing as well, so I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy this. I'll stand up while she's doing it. I'm just going to buy the kit online and learn how to start doing it for fun and see if it's something that interests me, because it's not that expensive to get into. So I started trying to figure it out, and I think to myself, possibly I might do I might start inking my leg like in the next couple months as practice.
Yikes!
Ridiculous.
Can you give us a little? Can you turn a little bit? I wanted to see what's in the background. It looks like we got some cool like banner related stuff in the room with you.
Oh yeah.
This is our area.
Hold on, I'll switch it.
It's kind of dark here right
So
now.
there's a drum kit, and Matt's been doing guitar tracks, so he's mic'd up the amp with our special light up boxes. Those are our kind of a stage props.
Yeah, and we like
quick flash of our chalkboard that has our new song titles on it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Pretty crazy.
And these are really cool. These are our, we call them our Terranaut masks. They were done by a guy named Glenn Miller. He made them customized for us, and they appear in our video Undefeated. And this is Matt's dad's old organ. His dad was played organ and accordion, so we still have that old guy.
That looks haunted.
Yeah. Our first dog actually, like, poor thing, chewed through all the speakers, so Matt got really upset about that. But
yeah, now they want you to go closer to the chalkboard. You've got to wait for the song titles. Wait, keep going. I wanted to see your CD wall.
That's why I turned off the lights.
Oh, this is like a record collection and our old His Master's Voice over there.
Look at that.
Yep. And
ooh,
yeah,
you have like a real gramophone. Look at that.
I have a pretty solid vinyl collection. It's pretty
yeah,
solid.
Matt had a DJ friend who was going digital and decided he wanted to get rid of all of his records and just do digital DJ stuff.
Lame.
Like literally gave us all of his
I got
vinyl.
tons. And my
We
dad
never
had
placed him.
tons as well. So
Lame of him, but cool for you to get all that stuff. You got to keep.
I got a lot of good stuff.
Come on.
Totally got the good stuff out.
Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Neptune Man says, "Do you have the fan mail I sent you?"
The fan mail. I don't know, because I haven't been able to get to my post
it would
office
come
box.
into our PO box, which we wouldn't have got. We haven't been able to get to yet.
Yeah,
it's in a different place.
yeah.
I wonder how much mail is
Not
in there.
yet, Steven.
Sorry, Steven.
I'll go in a little bit.
Does it have money in it? If it has money in it, I will go and get it a lot faster. If there's $20 in it, I'll go get it.
And they also want to know, can we get some Terranaut masks in the store?
Ah, man. You know what? I would love to eventually do that. Right now, it's kind of like these cost so much and they were custom made that you probably wouldn't be able to like afford like a mask that's like so expensive for the general fan. But I'd love to figure out how to do a version that could eventually be sold. It's just, it takes like a lot of time and development, because right now these ones are awesome, but they're not, you can't really see through them. So there's a few like design things that we would have to work on.
We could easily see through these.
I feel like you're on that show, The Masked Singer, wearing that.
Yeah. Even like shipping them would probably be like a couple $100 because they're so heavy.
It was like Glenn spent like almost $1,000 just shipping 5 of them to us, so it was expensive just to ship them to us.
Yeah.
It looks heavy. It looks heavy.
We still own
a
music video at some point too. There's a music video we were supposed to finish with that guy that made these. He's just, because he lives in LA, it's been hard to actually try and get it figured out. But I think eventually we will. It's just a matter of timing.
Misho, if you can go back in time and redo one and only one of your early songs, what would it be and what would you change?
Do you mean like early as in Sumo Cyco or early as in like my pop stuff?
It could be anything, or you can make a pop song, a rock song if you want.
A lot of people have asked me to like do a Sky Sweeten pop song in like a Sumo Cyco way, but people don't realize that every single Sumo Cyco song is pretty much a Sky Sweeten pop song, just done in a crazy way, because underneath it all it's just a lot of melody and hooks, and we just put a bunch of chaos on top. But as far as like one of our earlier songs, I know that like Matt, as far as like a producer and a mixer, has like literally just every year just like improved so much. So there are some songs, like older songs that were released that, you know, Matt could probably kill just remixing it. It would sound like so much better just because he's learned so much.
Probably like in the because we got other people to work on. Like, we recorded all the first songs we ever did by ourselves, but we got them mixed by other people. Like, for the first 5 or 6 tracks, I never mixed anything. So then I started trying to mix my own tracks. So, like, Where Do We Go, Loose Cannon, a couple of them like that, they were mixed by me, and they just weren't as strong as they could have been. So those are a couple of the ones that I went back. Sirens is one that we released for like a pledge kind of same thing. If I redid that one, I bet it could sound badass. But a lot of our new material, like the 2 records, I'm still pretty proud of. Like, I mixed both, or the first one. Second one, I got a guy named James Barak in UK to do for us, and I'm pretty proud with them all. But yeah, I think Where Do We Go would probably, and Loose Cannon, those 2 would probably sound really badass if I redid those 2. Like those, yeah.
Well, this is the worst part of my show.
If there's anything else, let me know. If there's anybody listening that's like thinking of something. You picked something on your arm that's bleeding.
I know. I've been trying to stop it the whole time.
I was going to say, we only have a minute and a half, unfortunately. Well, let's see the blood, first of all.
It's gross.
I don't know where it came from. I don't know. Right there. I don't know. I was literally just looked down at my arm, and I'm like, I'm bleeding. And then I started, like, trying to hold it so that it wouldn't.
You only have a minute and a half? Like, so then,
yeah.
So we've been
See how fast an hour goes? Let me, really quick, before we wrap it up, thank you all for watching. If this is your first time, please follow me at DJ Rossstar. I'm doing this 2 nights a week, Wednesday and Thursday. Next Wednesday, I'll be talking to the Skints over from the UK. So I'll be
cool.
So I'll be on at 2 o'clock because it's 10 o'clock there. And then next Thursday, I'll be talking to my buddy Jordan from the Ready Set. That's going to be a good one. Also, if you like female-fronted artists of any kind of genre, check out Women in Stereo on Instagram. I'm helping that page out too. And that's really it. Now you guys have the floor for 40 seconds. Tell them everything they need to know about Sumo Cyco and where to add you.
Oh, awesome. Well, everything you can find us anywhere at Sumo Cyco, Facebook, Instagram. I started a TikTok account and started doing some crazy Tiger King themed TikToks. And sumocyco.com/store is where you can support us during this time since we're not able to tour. If you want to check out some music or t-shirts or whatever. And we're working on our 3rd record, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you guys, and thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for doing this. You were really fun.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, brother. You too, man.
Have a good night, guys. Man. Be in touch, please.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.